Sunday, 11th of February 1990, 9 days after the unbanning of the ANC and the PAC. Nelson Mandela never wavered in his
Thanks for staying with us. It's Thursday, and we love to discuss family life issues on Thursdays. That's why we talk about homes and marriage and relationships. So joining the gist today is a stand-up comedian, an actor, writer, poet, MC, father, brother, son, and he's a celebrity, a husband to his lovely wife. Welcome with us the incredible and talented Bovi Ugboma in the building.
You messed up my last name, bro.
You don't sound like Igbo name.
Yes,
Shock can't catch me.
It's Ugboma.
Ugboma. It's my writer that put Ugboma there.
Are you serious?
Imagine.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, man.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You've done chop up compared to the last time I saw you.
I don't buff.
You're chopping metal
alone.
in the
I'm
gym.
living healthy. I'm living very
that's
healthy
good.
now. Yeah.
You have more tattoos?
More? Did you know I had some before?
I don't. Well, I'm just saying. I never really saw it. Wasn't visible.
I do.
Oh, fantastic! Good to have you.
Visible and not so visible.
So today, our talk, we're gisting today about a very top veteran actor, Kanayo. He is somebody that every Nigerian knows. So recently, he's been putting out videos and just sharing his wealth of knowledge and experience. And in the recent video, he was seen warning many men as they have become lazy because their wives are hardworking. According to him, a man who cannot feed his family has no need to use his private area on her. He said quite a few things. He said that we are Africans. We don't do 50-50 here. A man should take care of his family. And he also said that because there are seasons where a woman can support you, but a man should be the one actually driving the home, that many men have gone lazy. But the question is, should we continue to push this narrative in 2024? And should men be under that kind of pressure that if they have to work hard? Or should we begin to somehow find a way to have not necessarily a 50-50, but support, not understand and recognize that support can be 50-50. The man can earn, the woman can earn, and they can both come together. Is that the narrative we can start pushing in Africa? What are your thoughts? Let's have this conversation. Call us on 081-0764-1679, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC. Can you please hashtag Yourview TVC so we can read your tweets, and we'll send you messages and send us messages on YouTube. So who would like to go first? What are your thoughts? Nima, let me start with you.
Okay, so I'm totally for Kanayo on this one because I have two real life experiences while I was watching this video. Now my head was doing bang, bang, bang. So I had this young mentee who had a job on the island, and she had a guy she was dating who insisted on living somewhere far in Ikorodu. What she had told us was Ikorodu, so Greek, Ikorodu main town. But inside this Berigbe, far inside was where the guy was. And she did not open up until recently when the marriage had to break because she was working to kill herself. She would come out just to get to Ikorodu main town, 1,005 are finished. And then she gets home, she's cooking till 10, and then she goes to work on the island. And we didn't know he didn't have a viable job. She was in love. And finally, she opened up on the weight she was carrying. It was not a lot. She was financially stressed. She was beating blue. And he will sit at home wait for her to cook that food. He demanded his wifely, she does her wifely duties. And so that had to go. And I have a friend who was in her marriage for 12 years. She had fertility issues. Just recently had to go, let the marriage go. When she married, they were in love. And he gave her rules. He says, I have younger ones, about 4 of them in the university. In this marriage, don't you ever bring a below. And so she agreed and thought she was being a supportive wife. Even with you, it's good, at least we value you in time. 6 years into the marriage, she's battling fibroids, she's doing surgeries, all on her own. All on her own. He doesn't put a dime to treatment. He doesn't show up, and she didn't open up early.
Yeah.
By the time she opened up, they
Marriage
all
has
around.
come.
You see, when I hear
this might just be a sign
yeah.
that you're supporting laziness.
But we hear that story, and we also hear the other side that says,
No,
I
no.
supported my husband all through, and now he has money and
Right.
he's supporting the family.
We
So
hear
it's
those
two
ones.
sides.
We have the cover-up stories more. This, my friend, I'm telling you, that is 12 years. Nothing prepared us, because till the day she opened up, I thought she was in a good home.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed. And what broke her is that she had to go through those kind of treatment that are mentally stressful, all on her own. You know, with they call your spouse and be like, are we supposed to pay for this? Are we supposed to pay for that?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay,
So sometimes it just might be supporting laziness.
Let me come to you.
Yeah, so I'll answer that your question, one you asked. Listen. First of all, I'm going to say, can I rank a dead A? What you have said is very true and very right. Because, of course, if you put your whatever in, it's going to, you're going to have investments and returns will come. And those are children. And children, they're going to be taken care of, right? So there has to be money to take care of children. Like the story you mentioned, when I was in school, we had these two lovebirds. They were in love and, dating and all. They finished school, they went for their NYSC, and after NYSC, the lady got a job before the guy. So they got married, and she was the one taking care of things. They, first of all, had the first child, second child, third child. They had 3 kids. He was still looking for a job. Finally, she was taking care of everything, paying school fees, feeding the house, with the hope that very soon you're going to get a job and then you will help. Immediately he got a job, everything changed.
Wow.
When it was time for him to contribute money, he said no, that he's not used to it, that he can't be contributing money. Exactly. So you say, yes, he said he's not used to it, that he's not going to contribute. And that was what, in fact, he stressed her to the extent that marriage went down. Now the marriage does not exist anymore because he stopped. He didn't want to contribute nothing.
Okay, so for our viewers to know, I'll come to you, Mary, in a second. For our viewers to know what we're talking about, let me play the video, then I'll come to Mary, then I'll come to Bovi. Okay. Let's watch the video here.
Hello, my dear friends. I woke up this morning and I was disturbed by a trend which I found out that is very disturbing. It's useless and dangerous when a man depends on a woman to feed him. The usual thing, and that's the most disturbing part, is that women want to defend their husbands so that whatever is happening inside does not get out to the outside. But sometimes it's detrimental to the progress. Every man has the responsibility to his family. Like we read in the holy books, a man who cannot take care of or provide for his family is worse than. But I'm saying on this note that a man who cannot feed his family has no need and no use to use his private part on a woman. It's a responsibility. Women try to cover their husbands, and this is an advice to young women. Know who you marry. All you place above everything is love. I love him, I love him. But provision, nil. And when he doesn't provide, you start having the idea and approaches from advances from men and so on and so on, so forth. I have been disturbed by this because the women who protect their husbands.
That's the point. So, Mariam, let me let you respond.
Yes, so he said he's been made aware of the trend. And I too think that there is a trend now of young men. I'm not saying this has never happened, but I feel that there's a trend, meaning that there's a large number of younger men who feel that, I don't really need to do much. All I have to do is, if I have a partner that likes me or that loves me, she can provide. And I feel that this has come on the back of this, what do you bring to the table conversations, these 50-50 conversations. And with everything that happens, there will be some people who would find the loopholes in conversation like this. So for me, the initial what do you bring to the table conversation, 50-50, is just two people realizing, we're not strong to carry for everybody. How can we do it together? And then you have these unscrupulous-minded human beings who have decided that, okay, is that how they do it? Me, I will have this, I don't really want, you know, I don't really have a lot, but I will put the pressure, or I will make this person feel guilty in such a way that she provides for me. After all, men used to provide for, you know, because that conversation, men have provided for women all along. A man has never complained. Why is it that a woman, once she does for a man small, she gets to complain? So you find a lot of women now are held back from expressing how they feel, that because truly a man, his confidence comes from the fact that he provides for his family. A good man is confident that I am doing this for my family. A man will go out to work and he brags about what he's doing for his family. Do you understand? He's not even bragging that look at all this money I have that I have and I'm just looking at it. Is that look at what I've done, what I'm doing for my family. A man that does not have that pride and that does not want that is not a provider. This is a person that is just looking for where to come and chop clean mouth and move on to the next. So for me, I see that trend, and it's just young men looking for vulnerable, successful women and seeing where can we enter chop clean mouth quickly. In fact, they profile you from afar. Yeah. They are looking at you, they are going through your social media. They say, okay, oh, she's in her late 30s, they are late 40s. They already know. They are dropping this. You're not getting any younger. You know, they are the ones that will even tell you that gist first. Then, oh, you need, and you know Nigerian women now, most of us that we've been raised that if you don't have a man in your life, no matter how successful you are, it's incomplete. So you make those excuses. Okay, he's not all that. You can see that the reason why he's in your life. I mean, you can see that the reason why he's not working or providing is not from lack of ability, is just from a selfishness. You can always tell them they can be quite selfish. Yes, they are so entitled, very demanding, and you know they don't want to share. But the woman, as Kanoya said, we also have this culture where you keep what you are going through in your home, you keep it to yourself until it becomes too much. So there is a trend, and I think we need to be careful not to put them in the same box as men who are struggling but are unable to make it yet. They are two different groups of people.
Let me come to you, Bovi, on this, because you've heard all the ladies talk, you've heard Kanayo, and the angle I like to also add is that, is this fair on men to put this kind of pressure on men? Because men always feel like, listen, I'm just one human being. I have to provide for the house, the feeding, pay the children's school fees, health, welfare of the family, and also myself, my own upkeep. Like, is that not just too much for a man? Should we change that narrative today?
Men are planners. Men know how to foresee. Say, okay, this is what I want to do with my life and all. I think we have come to that stage where men need to be educated on how to plan ahead. Okay. You have no business getting married in the first place if you don't have a clear-cut plan for the next 1 year. Let's not even talk about having children. You get? I think we're going through an evolution. Time was when it was just men and women would just stay at home. There was an era like that where most women would just be in the court. Men go out there to hunt, to farm, to provide. Over time, we are now in that era where women have a voice or want to have a voice as regards, I am passionate about this thing. I am more than a housewife. I am more than just a vessel to bring children into the world. While that is a good side, the bad side is what we're talking about now, men taking the back seat. You know, it's, I don't think it's the natural order of things. The natural order when it comes to relationships is for the man to be the hunter and for the woman to nurture. Now, we are seeing women who can do more than nurture.
They're hunting too.
They can hunt as well.
Yes, as well. Because if your passion can provide wealth, why not? If your passion can provide wealth, why not? So that's where the women come.
We find like a lot of young men now, as you said, they are looking for wealthy girls. They don't want like they say they don't want liability, and they are not even carrying their own weight. You hear boys talking or guys talking, and they're scoping and trying to see how this girl she's working at this oil company. She has this official car. She has an apartment. Oh, that is a gold mine. Her father is this thing. Her father they live in Banana Island. They are scoping this girl and they are getting all the data on her, and they're saying you better go and date this person. Why are you not dating this person? That's the person, you know. And that is what guys do today.
So I think every good thing is attractive. Every tree with ripe fruits, people want to pluck. Even guys who are doing well for themselves, if they see a woman who's doing well for herself, I think she will be more attractive. So this tide of young guys targeting these women, I don't know where it came from. All I know is that it's not ideal, it's not healthy. From the stories you guys have told, guys have gone for women and they ended up getting married, the women got jobs first, and the men became lazy in the process. So it's not only the ready-made women. A woman who has a home, even if she doesn't have a job, is thinking, how do I make my home work? So even the women who are not flashy have somehow encouraged this type of guys as well. You know? Yes, they've enabled them.
Let's talk about, when this finally happens, where a man, you are a man of your house, but you are not the provider fully. And then, we have our custom and our requirements. The woman is supposed to cook your food, to raise your kids, do all of that. And you think it is making you less of a man to assist her. Because a guy was trending in a video recently. He said he lives in the UK and he decided to toast an Akata, an Oyibo woman. And while they were talking, the woman was like, okay, you do 50, I do 50. And he says, okay, but if I do 50, then you do the cooking. And the woman was like, no.
We'll cook together.
You find your way to eat your food. And he was like, me and Iboma. That it makes him less of a man. But today's reality is that you cook, I cook. And I'm married to an Edo man. I'm from Edo. And my husband, it is absorbed to find him in the cooking business.
Kitchen.
And sometimes when I'm tired, I say, I'm working, I'm tired. And he says, okay, if I get you a driver, that reduces it. I'm holding you to your agreement to cook. Just don't say, I said, he's cooking this weekend. But it's not something that is normal to find him cooking. And so if we are cooking, I remember growing up, my dad is cooking and my aunties are visiting. He finishes cooking, comes back in and sits down. My mom pretends to go and serve the food as if she cooked it. So nobody saw that happen. So it cannot be said that my father was no longer a man. When we switch these roles, are we ready for some of the realities that come with it, especially because now human being we marry, we never marry cattle.
That's an interesting answer.
Well,
so, what do you think?
People, some things have become cultural. And in recent times, it has been proven that some of those things are really not cultural. There are men who like to cook, the way there are women who like to work and make their own money. So the women should learn to accept that. Society should learn to accept that there are men who like to cook. There are men who like to rock the baby, to nurture and all that. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, so, I think the operative word here is evolution. You start something and it has like a multiplier effect on what, comes out. So, yes, now we're having men who, they don't feel the need or they don't think that they're required to be the sole provider like our fathers and grandfathers were. In fact, I think some of our fathers too were the 50-50 type, So because, like all the things you mentioned, a lot of women were doing so much this time around and were doing it with pride. So I'm not talking of the women who feel that they're doing this because it's, there's no help. It's like, I really want to go out. I want to go to work and I want to be able to do that. So we have now a different breed of human beings, of men and women. Now, that is that's the cultural evolution I agree with to a certain point, where a man does not feel that he has to do. But there is this trend, that's the trend that Kanayo is talking about. And really, I want to put Bovi on the spot here. As a man, I was waiting for you to say, yes, I recognize this trend. There's some guys that, friends of friends of friends or family of families, that that these are the sort of, there's really a group of men like this. Women, maybe you should be more careful in choosing partners. These are the signs that you will see. I know that this is not the sort of man that will want to be, a team player or you should marry. Are there men like this?
You come across men like this?
I have, but I also give room, because we all grow up differently. But I have friends who I have spoken to and told them, listen, by nature, I am a provider. I cannot be comfortable sitting back and watching my wife provide for me. And I think because we are driven by ego, if you want your ego to be massaged, you better provide.
Right.
You need to understand that even those of us who are providing, our egos are easily bruised. Not to talk of you that is sitting at home and expecting her to provide. And it's the spiral effect of that that is the issue. Yeah. If you want to sit at home, or if you want to do 50-50 with your wife, then do it in peace. But understand that there are effects that come with your wife providing for you.
So, because that's what Kanayo was saying. Ramata, I'll let you come in here. The effects. You want to touch on effects? Or?
The effects, okay, before I talk on the effects, I wanted to talk about the fact that some of these 50-50 that people usually talk about, right? Sometimes it is not in regards to cooking. The 50-50 they are talking about is the financial, what can you bring? You do this. I have a friend that she was going to get married to someone, and the guy said the only reason he's going to get married to her is this. He said she's going to be the one that will be, she'll pay the house rent, and she'll pay for the diesel, and also pay for feeding in the house, while he will take care of school fees, and, you know, he just shared it.
That's in Alaska.
Do you understand? Yes, he shared it, and she was like, no. This is, we're still Africans. So
well, is it fair on the man? You not answer my question. No. That situation, is it fair? Because the man is saying, let us do 50.
What question is that?
Is it fair to do it for a man to do 100%? It's not fair. I'll let you answer in a second. I have a caller waiting. Because we are saying, because Kanaya said, we are Africans.
Yes.
50-50 doesn't work here.
Yes.
So that's what we say. But I'm saying, in 2024, is it fair to say 50-50 cannot work? Let me let this caller come in first.
50-50 does not work.
Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo.
Good morning, you're live.
Everybody in the house.
Chief Kanu, go ahead.
This is a problem that we have generally in Africa. If you listen my brother there, you know that he's getting it right. Because this is an African mentality. Having it with a woman at home 50-50. That is automatically wrong. Take care of the home. If you marry a woman that wants to support 50-50, is on a good understanding. But what I want to advise every young couple that believe that house belongs to that man, whether the woman brings 90% or 100%, because our people make one program that any man is a crocodile, is a lion, not lioness. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
He's a crocodile.
The crocodile is a lion. You see, heard of his own masculinity and all of that. I wanted to answer, is it fair on a woman to be, these specific roles that they give, to be limited to kitchen, limited to having babies, limited, by all of that an African man would naturally demand of. As educated as we are here, if you put us in our homes, at some point, even though we have caring husbands, this conversation would have come out. Where you find the man saying, no, don't tell me that. Get my food. It will happen.
Yes.
You will be sitting with family members as educated as you are.
Your Lord.
They will, when they are visiting, they expect your wife to be the hostess. No matter the time of the day you come in. There was a day I came into the house from work tired. Then my husband calls me. They've arrested my manager's uncle. You have to go to the police station. I was like, no. I just carry fresh fish, come out. I want to cook. I know you get that time because, when he comes back, he eats hot food. And I wanted to cook. And he says, no. I went to the police station. We're done at 8 p.m. And we came home. He said, babes, where we go eat? If you see the way I look at and his family members seated, were looking at me that, why should they roll their eyes? I've been standing. I'm a breastfeeding mom. I've been standing since morning. I had to flare up and go inside before he said, okay, I will manage noodles. He wanted to manage noodles. He didn't think. So the roles are there. Yes. Nobody's going to excuse you. Nobody send me to work. Will tell you I will do this. I will this. Let me so is it fair to me?
Let me go on a break. We're going to unpack this more because there's more to this story. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Ambition.
My G, for our ambition, we go hard.
We go day night till we make it.
We go hard till we find that perfect beat.
The perfect beat, the one the world will put on repeat. So we chase greatness in every moment, making every naira count.
We put out content after content till it's comment after comment. And with Glow by our side,
we have more to offer.
Because the MyG bundle comes with bonuses,
giving you way more data value and way more steez on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, Glow TV, AudioMac, and Boomplay
in one fly package.
Dial *312# now and select MyG bundle.
Glow Unlimited.
It's time for Africa's largest HR event of the year.
The 56th International Conference and Exhibition.
Brought to you by the apex and only recognized body for the regulation of the human resources management in Nigeria.
The Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria.
Join us from October 14th to 17th, 2024. This year's theme, Managing People and Businesses for Resilience. Gain insights from top industry experts, network with HR leaders, and explore cutting-edge strategies.
It's not just a conference, it's a unique opportunity to enhance resilience in your organization.
Don't miss out on Africa's premier HR event.
The 56th International Conference and Exhibition, where resilience meets excellence.
For more details, visit www.cipmnigeria.org or email conference@cipmnigeria.org.
See you there.
CIPM,
we deliver value through people.
The former First Lady of Nigeria, Her Excellency Mrs. Victoria Gowon, CFR, invites you to the 90th birthday anniversary of His Excellency, former Head of State, General Dr. Yakubu Gowon, GCFR, to be marked as follows. A 90th birthday anniversary public lecture titled Salute to Excellence by Dr. Akinwumi Adeshina, CFR, President, African Development Bank, under the chairmanship of the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR. Venue, ECOWAS Secretariat, Asokoro, Abuja. Date, Friday, October 18th, 2024 at 4 p.m. On Saturday, October 19th, 2024, there will be an interdenominational Thanksgiving service open to the public at the National Ecumenical Center, Abuja. Time, 2 p.m. to be followed by a banquet at the Banquet Hall Presidential Villa. Time, 6 p.m. The banquet is strictly by invitation, please. General Dr. Yakubu Gowon, born on 19th October 1934 at Garam in Kanke Local Government Area, Plateau State, is Nigeria's longest living former head of state. Planning Committee announcer.
At Nile Online, your journey to excellence begins, bridging the gap between traditional and digital classrooms. Nile Online brings the Nile University experience to you. Interactive learning at your fingertips. Discuss, debate, and grow with peers and professors online. With Nile Online, your education fits around your life, not the other way around. Learn effectively from your home, during breaks at the office, or while on the move. Dive into a variety of programs that cater to your passion and career aspirations, from Executive MBA to digital marketing. Empower your future with accessible and secure education. Nile Online is your path to success. Join Nile Online today. Shape your tomorrow.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter. And the question I've asked before is that, is it fair in 2024 to still make a man be responsible for 100%, knowing that women are educated more today and they're able to work and provide? Should it still be a choice, or should it be mandated for a father or a husband to be 100% in charge of every bill? That's the conversation. Is it fair on them?
So,
yeah, go ahead, Mariam.
Okay. So for me, right, I don't know if I should call it unfairness, because it has to be, you have to see this individually. Because if it's a sole provider sort of situation where he takes on the traditional role, there's the role that the wife takes. So there's a compensation for whatever it is that you're bringing to the table. So I'm out there, I'm the hunter, I'm at war, but when I come home, I am taken care of. Everything about the home, I don't even need to lift a finger, it is done. You know, I come home and I come to my peace. So that's the conversation. So that is almost like a 50-50 in such a way that I bring this part of the, you know, this part into the relationship. She provides this part. Now, where we are today is the 50-50 financial responsibility. Yeah, that is also fair if it is an agreement and both of you play the part of, you bring the responsibility as well as the compensation. You recognize, okay, my wife is going out to work. So the time to be at home to do some of those house chores and things like that, she may not have that time. So, and because you recognize this, because she's also providing financially, she's going out, you know, you're able to make adjustments around that. So there's a fairness in that, you know. So it depends on your home. But the situation, the thing is, you have to make sure that it is fair, however you decide to separate it. The problem we are talking about here today is those people, whether the man or the woman, that take advantage of an agreement, you know, and try to only get from it without adding to it.
Okay. I'll come to you, Bovi. There's a question I want to have in my head, but let me take this call first from Favor. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello,
Favor.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Concerning the topic, it's a really, really trending thing now in Nigeria. Guys really don't want to work again. They leave it for the ladies, saying ladies are the ones supposed to be the ones feeding the family. Meanwhile, they want to go in between your legs. So that trend, I think in Nigeria should just get her to stop, because I remember my mom when she was alive. It was as if she was the one taking care of everything. And if she fails to, you know, do the normal wife stuff, my dad will beat the hell out of her. And so you see, even the trend now is something else. To me, to my perspective, after that, I don't think of getting married for now.
Wow. Interesting, Favor. Thank you. Thank you very much, Favor. The question I had in my head, a woman is a high flyer. She's a top executive in a bank. She's making serious money, right? And okay, her husband, they started off, he's not doing very well. He's not able to get his business together. She still loves and respects him. But now, through her influence, he's able to get small contracts here and there, but he's just small. Now, he's doing his best. Now, maybe he's unable to take care of the children because he never knew how to. He cannot cook because he was not taught how to. So the best he can do really is to be available to encourage when she comes from work, oh, welcome back, you know, just be talking and just, because he doesn't need to hustle because you're making enough. And also, me too, I can make small change through your influence as a top executive. I can get small contracts with them. So there's also money coming and we are okay. So why are you stressing the man to still hustle?
No, we're not there for their house.
Why you not?
No, Bovi should answer. But we know that their house is between. No, Maria, this conversation is. Kanayo didn't say this thing because he just wanted to start a conversation.
It's because
from his age and his perspective, he will see women that are dying under the weight of what they are carrying right now, and be like, "Why did you start this? What do you think when you agree to this in the first place?" Because a man will come and say, "That has always been the rule in our house." The story I shared of my friend with the 12 years marriage is that he said that's the rule, and do you need it?
I didn't lie to her
because she got promoted twice, and it was like, in this marriage you've gotten promoted twice, and you're already due for another promotion. So why are we changing it? And he doesn't know that for her to carry certain weight all on her own, especially those kind of treatments, it's killing her.
Women enjoy it.
So from what Bovi said is that what he's trying to say is that providing is part of a man's masculinity. It helps with his ego. It helps to push him. It helps to do everything for him. I know of a woman that is at the executive level.
That's not a generalization. Some men might not be interested.
No, but we are
most men. There are exceptions to every rule.
Exceptions to, but
so I know of a woman that,
generally speaking, the man is the provider. However, if the woman, like I said earlier, her passion has pushed her to the point where she can provide.
Yes.
You must recognize that power in the woman. I'm coming back to what you were asking me now. If the man is domesticated and he's okay and they are happy, it's her power, her money, her power. Either way, right?
So she go to cry.
As long as... So let me go back a bit. I like a man who provides. That is what is cultural to me. However, if your woman is ambitious, then you have to find a middle ground. I can be providing everything I'm supposed to provide in my home. I actually provide everything. And I tell my wife, what's your passion? Oh, this is my passion, and she's doing it. There are times she has said, oh, let me pay for this. I'm like, but I have it covered. And she's like, so what's my money for? I say, enjoyment. Surprise me. Buy me a gift. Do this and do that. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We must understand that patterns create habits.
Okay.
If your wife is working, two of you graduated, and she gets a job before you, and you are chill, and she's growing, and you are chill, then you start making money. You told that story.
Yes, yes.
The guy spoke the truth. I'm not saying we should encourage it, but he was not used to it because she left him for too long. He was
why are we
lazy.
complaining? Because we have enough money to run the home. So why are women complaining? If the man is, at least he's there. He's available.
Why should he break the marriage? When she finally says, I want this to change, a serious man will think, oh, this is sound serious, except you want to repay her sacrifice with wickedness. Because I don't expect it to break the marriage, you know?
What I'm driving at, please hear me. We are raised as women to enable, like when your husband doesn't have, you to do now. Don't let anybody know that you're not paying school fees. Don't let anybody. That's how we're raised. Now we are complaining because we are raised these men to be at home, because now we're not just hiding the school fees. We are now becoming high flyers. We're not becoming high flyers.
You're mixing it up. Can I say something? I think you're mixing it up. Let's even look at it traditionally, what we're used to, where the man provides and the woman is provided for, right? And she does the house things. But there have been times, even in that traditional setting, that the man is unable to meet some needs. And she has to change her role a bit to help during that period. We're talking of people. We're talking of the other way around, where the man does not think he needs to do something, to do anything or change anything,
and that's
because
simply wrong.
You know, it's wrong, and that has nothing to do with whether you're a man or a woman. As a human being, if someone is taking up some part of the responsibility, what role are you playing to meet the person halfway? It doesn't always have to be about money, because whether you like it or not, there are some men, there are some marriages where the women will earn more than their husbands. But what are the husbands doing so that it's not such a heavy burden? Even men that are making a lot of money and everything, there's sometimes they complain about a wife who's not playing her own part. They'll say, I'm not even asking you to bring any money, but when I come home, is it a safe place? Are my children going to school on time? Are their uniforms neat? You know, things like that. So it's about human beings now. But in this case, particularly, some men who have decided that they are going to be scamming women. Because for me, it's just scamming.
Yes. Let me take David. I'll come to David. David, thanks for calling. You're live.
I like your point of view, Morayo. You have been very important. But the guests and the other ladies in the house are not picking on what you are pointing out. This your show will be shown in 40, 30 years' time. The studio will look old school. With few people with gray hair and mothers, grandmas, then I know you are mothers now, you are. But what I'm saying is that we are not talking about your generation here. You are not like them, your generation, because you understand. You came from a family that, you know, that you need to share your experience. Your parents' experience, when you are growing up, what you learn from them. You are taking it into your today. But what I'm trying to say is that the generations of maybe that is out now, they are not in your own shoes. They are not your categories. Don't cite your experience as an example. The new generation of ladies outside now, they are also a gold digger. We are not looking at that. But girls are also waking up to fight back, to also demand. It's not about passion, as Bovi said. It's not about passion for, I have a passion. It's a responsibility for ladies also to work. We are not talking about passion. Maybe because your wife has a passion for doing something, that is why he has to do it. No.
Okay, thank you very much. What
I wanted to say was that, okay, so I know of a family, a man, the wife does better than him. She's in a very big place. She earns so much money more than him. But he makes sure that he provides everything within his own. He tells her that if you feel like contributing, contribute. But I am the one going to take care of everything in the house. according to his level. They're not. She can afford to buy, to rent a very big house for them to stay. But he said this is what he can afford. We are going to stay in this our 2-bedroom and manage it, and that's how it is. Well. And there's so much respect in the home. So once in a while, she brings in some stuff and puts in the house. Sometimes you don't have to say, okay, bring 50-50. On your own, even when the man brings everything to the table, the woman, if she has feelings, she sees all these things. She sees how much he works and all. She will bring in her own. She will bring in, sometimes she will chip in, she will buy some things, and he will even know that she's buying all these things for the house. So it doesn't have to be spelled out like, okay, let's come out. You bring this, you bring this. You understand? Somehow, you see, it will work out like that.
And I'll come to you in a second, because in that traditional role, men have committed suicide because they had to be the ones to do everything by themselves. We had fathers who, they did everything, they sold their businesses just to continue the home and maintain the home. We don't have data to have that, to know how many men who went into depression just because of these things. Now, the roles, as I use the word evolution, has gradually shifted, where now it's the women. We are more enlightened, we are reading, we are going to school, because many of them, the roles are flipped, and now women are now complaining. No, you need to go back to traditional role. And some people are saying, okay, the compromise is, let's do 50-50. We can't consider traditional role. It's where a man is handling everything. It is unfair. Yes, it's traditional, but it's also a stress. Don't you think?
If I'm providing everything in my home, everybody's comfortable. The last one thing that can tick me off is if I come home and my wife says there's no tissue.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Then I will feel stressed.
Yeah,
because it's tissue. So contribution comes in different forms. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
A man can be stressed out because of as little things as this, basically. But bringing a spreadsheet and saying, this is the one I will do, this is the one you will do. I'm sorry, from my perspective as a man, you are emasculating yourself in the process. But these things are not clear like night and day, black and white. That's the truth. The example you gave just now, that doesn't work for me.
Exactly.
If I'm in a situation where my wife earns more than me, yes, I would want to provide everything the house needs. But if her purse can make us move to a better place,
yes,
I will accept it because I'm an ambitious man. I'm not functioning every day with the mindset of this is how it's going to be. It's 500,000 naira we use every month. 500,000. Right.
Because she's Muslim, and I want to assume she's thinking how we think. So the Quran spells that a man is sole provider, protector of his own. If you don't do it within your means, you might get overwhelmed trying to do it to meet her tastes. It's also encouraged in Islam to marry within your class. So you don't take a girl from Dangote's family and force her to come to
adjust.
But if your means is you can afford a house in Mushin, for instance, she cannot insist because she can afford a house in Lekki that you start to meet up Lekki. That will be stress. That's the stress Morales example is giving. If she chooses to marry down, she's okay to live within your means. Her excess can bring some comfort within your means so that the rent no go due. You will come there think, say, how do I make 20 million for a duplex in Lekki? I don't know whether you follow me.
I do.
So within your means ensures that you're never stressed and she can enjoy certain excesses from what she earns.
Let me take Solomon. Yeah. Solomon's holding. Good morning, Solomon. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Lady. Yes, sir. I want to just chip in my little contribution concerning the topic on ground. Number one is that the way it started is when they are in courtship. These days, courtship has been made to be like a time to just while away, go to beaches, go to eatery or whatever. Courtship time is a time of serious discussion about the home they want to build. When people fail in really putting things on the table while in courtship, they have this kind of issue we're discussing now. If in the courtship, we discuss how your home is going to be run, what kind of account are you going to keep? who is going to be responsible for this, who is going to be responsible for this. Now, when you dish out responsibilities like that, that does not say when the need arises that any one of you can support. That doesn't rule it out. That I have a role to play does not mean that that must be my role and I must play it even when I don't have the capacity. So the second person must be able to...
Oh, I lost that.
No, I hear this courtship. Yes, he says a lot of conversations concerning marriage has to be done during courtship. And so maybe some of these issues will not be a problem.
But also outside the marriage now.
Yes.
That a man is a provider doesn't mean when he can't afford to provide, he doesn't get the help he needs.
He said
and when a woman is a nurturer, doesn't mean that when the baby is ill and she's not available, that the man cannot walk baby and change that.
That's true. I agree with you. But you know, a lot of people say this courtship is when you discuss a lot of things. But as we know with life, a lot of things changes. For some people, got married in your 20s. It's sort of where you are in your 40s, where you are, it's very far from where you started off. Life will keep changing. So it's not really about sitting down and specifying the roles and everything. It's that you hope that you have mindset, that you are working on this mindset, that you have a vision for yourself, and that you have a mindset of where teammates will help each other. Because to specify roles and whatever, if you now find yourself in a situation where those roles don't quite fit, you know, then what happens? So I'm just saying, yes, there are some conversations during courtship, but life continues, so you keep having conversations even in marriage. But, you know, I feel like there's a false narrative here, which is many men have died or committed suicide because they have carried on you know, their family responsibility. I feel it's too general to place, because I also know many men who take pride in the fact that they have taken care of families. In fact, what has killed them is unable to do, you know, for their family. They want to do it. They want to say that I provided, I put my children through school, I did that and I did this. So there is really pride for men, you know, to provide. Even the younger men that we're talking about now, what we hear, for those that they say they meet one successful lady and they take her money, usually you hear they take her money to go and help one small on the side. So it's really about, he takes pride in helping, in wanting to do something and provide for someone. For me, I think this conversation is really about what to look out for when you are choosing a person or a partner. What are the qualities that you should look out for? What are the things that should be red flags for us when we're looking for a partner? So for me, for me, that is where I would like for this conversation to lead, so that we make better decisions, even as individuals, as the men as well. They may see something that just trending and think that's the way that a man should behave. Maybe if they also hear this conversation, they'll realize, okay, if I'm like this and like this, it makes me this sort of man. But if I'm this way and I do this, it makes me a certain type of person. So,
all right, let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll take a few comments and then we'll go to your interview. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
I'm so happy to announce to you about my decision to invest in Adron Home Disco Series. When the marketer met me and said I can be paying 10,000 naira monthly, I was surprised. I jumped and grabbed the opportunity.
Now, with the Vehicle Plot series, you only pay 10,000 naira monthly for 100 months to get your own plot of land. Enjoy unlimited access to our estate facilities.
For fun time with the kids, we've got you covered.
Sport lovers, we got you. Finally, time for a swim.
Remember, you only pay 10,000 naira monthly for 100 months. Adron Homes.
Building cities, communities, and homes.
At Nile Online, your journey to excellence begins, bridging the gap between traditional and digital classrooms. Nile Online brings the Nile University experience to you. Interactive learning at your fingertips. Discuss, debate, and grow with peers and professors online. With Nile Online, your education fits around your life, not the other way around. Learn effectively from your home, during breaks at the office, or while on the move. Dive into a variety of programs that cater to your passion and career aspirations, from executive MBA to digital marketing. Empower your future with accessible and secure education. Nile Online is your path to success. Join Nile Online today. Shape your tomorrow.
Do you believe in Nigeria? Oh, yes, I believe. Do you believe in our greatness? Oh, yes, I believe. Do you believe in our unity? Do you believe we can fight corruption? Oh, yes, I believe. I believe in Nigeria. Do you believe we can succeed? Oh, yes, I believe. I believe in Nigeria.
Let's believe in ourselves. Let's have the right attitude. We've got all it takes to get there. Nigeria, believe. Powered by National Orientation Agency.
It's time for Africa's largest HR event of the year.
The 56th International Conference and Exhibition.
Brought to you by the Apex and only recognized body for the regulation of the human resources management in Nigeria.
The Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria.
Join us from October 14th to 17th, 2024. This year's theme, Managing People and Businesses for Resilience. Gain insights from top industry experts, network with HR leaders, and explore cutting-edge strategies.
It's not just a conference, it's a unique opportunity to enhance resilience in your organization.
Don't miss out on Africa's premier HR event.
The 56th International Conference and Exhibition, where resilience meets excellence.
For more details, visit www.cipmnigeria.org or email conference@cipmnigeria.org.
See you there.
CIPM, we deliver value through people.
Thanks for staying with us. So let's take a few comments on social media. I have one here from Mr. Jalili Aziz. He says, good morning, ladies of Yourview. I think a man should have a good mindset and take full responsibility of taking care of his family, especially if he wants his wife to be submissive. I haven't used that word so far. There's nothing like 50-50. However, if he's lucky to have a supportive wife, then he should be grateful.
Yes.
Okay, any other comments?
Tony G. Oladosu on TikTok says, to bear body should be both their responsibilities. Eritech Home says, relationship is grace. I married 4 times and now I'm in a blissful marriage for 18 years.
I'm so happy.
Says, time has changed in such a way that the mentality of entitlement has eaten deep into our marriage. And this is where I'd like to agree. You know, so a woman carrying her home is not something that, you know, you loud it. It's expected that you cover him up till he balances up. You know, women have done it for generations without making it. But when you are married to someone who becomes entitled to what you bring, to the extent that it's a burden and it demands it, you have kids, you're masculine, you're totally masculinated. What does BC call that word? Your masculine energy supersedes. You forget how to be a woman. At the end of the day, you're a provider, you're doing it all. You forget it, and then the man comes home and expects you to be a woman. You know, to do the other room business, to cook for him and all of that. And today, that's what brings about this gender-based violence we see, where the man is saying, I want to bring her, I want to cut her to size.
Can I say something that we've not touched on?
Okay.
He said that when you allow a woman to be that successful, she gets tempted outside because there are other people that are willing, because now she feels like, listen, I don't need you. So she's meeting people at the MDs of banks, she's hanging out, they're doing stuff, and she's feeling that she's at that level, and her husband is there doing at her home. So it also makes a woman to the point susceptible to infidelity.
If you collect gifts now, somebody will see how hardworking she is, go buy and nice thing she thinks it's cheap.
But even a housewife that when she goes to the market,
she will be
temptations are there as well.
Bovi,
There's not some people's wives inside market.
Who can run down market? You can walk away.
I'm just saying, regardless of the level, temptations exist.
But you can walk away from a market gift. You know, and a meat seller can cut extra meat and say, oh, God,
so you go to buy.
I want to wait for my husband. But your boss in the office who sees how hardworking you are,
takes breakfast
and you drive from here to Alagbole or to Alagbado every day, from Island to, and your husband is just waiting for you, and he says, oh, she needs a car, and he buys you a car, one car that
you would
somewhat that
you might just make sure.
And if the man ego is affected,
temptations happen both ways. If the man decides to let you to be at home and he's doing the work, he faces temptations.
Yes.
So it's not really about temptations, and we hope that whoever it is that you marry remembers what their vow to the marriage is. So for me, I don't think that is a problem. You know, the truth is, there are some men I feel that may really prefer to be at home. They may prefer to be more domesticated.
Yeah, but there are select few.
Yes, there are select few.
Naturally, men are not like that.
Okay.
Men are not how.
See, to be domesticated at home.
Yes. So when you don't have work to do, you do something
like that. I agree with you.
That's why I said there are a select few.
Okay.
See, ultimately, I think these are my views. A man should provide for his family.
Okay.
I also believe in today's world, a woman should be encouraged to chase her dreams if she has dreams.
Yes.
And if those dreams make her economically powerful, then it is welcome. Because if a man dies, for example, what happens to the woman if she's not economically powerful?
Exactly.
And if a man chooses to misbehave, and he says, leave my house, what happens to the woman?
Yes.
So that's my take on it. Men should provide, but women should also be very much encouraged to do those things, to be financially empowered.
I think we can end on that. I think that's a good way to end that segment. But really, the truth is that I think we need to continually reevaluate the roles of men and women in relations as we are evolving, because things are going to be different. Our kids are seeing things differently. Kids are seeing their mothers working back to back, seeing their fathers sometimes sleeping on the couch, and they're wondering what's going on. And then they tell them in school that your father is a provider, and they're wondering, in my house, it doesn't look like it. So the kids are really confused. There's a whole thing going on out there. So I think it's time for us to really authentically reevaluate and look at what role should men play going forward, given the fact that these women are very enlightened. They're getting educated every day. Should they continue to play that nurturing role? Or can we both start nurturing? Can we both start getting domestic? Can we both start getting providers? Can we agree on a 50-50 going forward? So that the men who are raised as Bovi, that I am the sole provider, will be raised to understand that, listen, I am doing 50, you're doing 50, we're doing it. So I'm just saying it's a conversation. Like what have you. Or we can say traditional and say, you know what, let's keep it such that the man is provider. Either way, I think we can wrap up with this. So let's come to Bovi.
Right.
Let's focus on Bovi in the building. Because there's a lot you're working on.
Right.
You know, we've been seeing you on Visa on Arrival.
Yeah.
I mean, we love the content. And I know you're doing a lot of amazing work in that. Tell us a bit about that before we come to what you're working on right now. How many seasons have you guys done?
Well, we're currently in season 5. We just finished season 5. We're about to work on season 6.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Fantastic.
And, you know, Visa on Arrival for me, like I said when camera was off, is a satire. We want to point out the issues that plague society, you know. So it's beyond how the average worker in an office behaves. It is also touching on homes and lives. And this topic you just talked about now, right? So more than anything, I like to use Visa on Arrival to show the power women have and how it should be encouraged. Because like you said, the things are changing and rapidly in today's world. You know, I think the woman has been too subdued over time. And I don't think it was always like that, right?
Yeah.
So I was raised by a woman.
Single mother?
I have sisters. No, I have sisters.
A wife.
I have a daughter. I have a wife. And maybe because I grew up amongst women a lot, I see the power in a woman that many people don't see. Yeah, so that's what Visa on Arrival primarily one of the primary reasons why I'm doing Visa on Arrival, apart from pointing out the issues in society, is to just make people see aspects of women that exist, good and bad.
Okay, we have to continue to talk about Visa on Arrival. I have to say this openly. Visa on Arrival is the only show that I watch. I forget that they're acting. That I want to strangle Charity. Charity, oh my goodness. This is someone I follow on social media because of her workouts and everything. But when anytime I see her on Visa on Arrival, every one of them, you know, they seem so real. It's almost like I've met each and every one of them somewhere in one civil service institution or the other.
Right.
How are they so real? You know, a lot of our acting, we don't get to see that complete. Realness. Yes, is it realness? What's the word? They just seem like they're not acting. Like, how did you get them to be?
I told them,
because you're the writer.
Yes, I told them the essence of this show is to mirror society, right? So if we embellish it too much with the things you learn in acting school, the message might be lost in translation. So I just told them, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
There are people like this. There are ego-driven men
like you
who want to run women down. There are the pious, or rather over-pious women who use religion as everything. There are the confrontational women, and there are the good women who just want to do the job and make sure they deliver.
Sophia Lakija, thank you for coming to save the day.
Right. Stuff like that. Yeah. So we just wanted to keep it real.
So originally, Sophie wasn't in the original cast. At what point did you decide there's a new character you wanted to add? Because when I saw her, I underestimated her.
Right.
Yeah, and then I watched her, and now she's in fact, she's my best character because she brings the balance.
Right.
At what point did you decide this is where you want to stop the regular one and bring one honest person who's upright?
I tried to first bring an honest person with Nancy's character, right? But because she's like a junior officer, it wasn't having that effect.
Yeah.
It dawned on me that, or rather I remember that people watch TV to let off steam. People watch these shows to escape reality. So when they are watching a show like this, they are looking for poetic justice. And all the characters were getting away with murder. And because of the premise of the show, someone who comes for an interview seeking a visa cannot bring poetic justice. What they will do is shout, get angry, and go. So I tried it for a few seasons. It wasn't working. So I was like, okay, you need to bring somebody into the system to checkmate all the crazy characters.
You talked about being so passionate. What you want to jump in?
Yeah, so what I wanted to ask you that what inspired, before the questions came, I wanted to ask you what inspired, why Visa on Arrival? And most of the time on the show, you could never grant those visas. You always deny the visas. So, but what inspired, why Visa on Arrival? Why that particular?
I had to look for, the reasons are many, but primarily speaking, I had to look for a type of show that can address different types of people and different types of parastatals. Have you been to, sorry to say, if you go to civil service, not just civil service, if you go to some companies and you're looking for a contract, you need to understand that a junior officer can sit on your file. Even when Oga says, it won't fly. It won't fly. You shout, rake, everything, you know. So I was like, I need to find a way to address those issues. And Visa on Arrival.
I know you're very concerned about women empowerment, you know, and women in playing leadership roles in the entertainment industry. Tell us about that. I mean, there's been so many leaders doing so many things, but how can we get more women out there in the entertainment world and in circles?
Well, you know, I was telling my friend before I came here that if you fight evil too often, you won't know when you become evil as well. So my idea is to not just preach about women and the role they should play or encourage women. It's also to go to the source. Why do you think women face the kind of resistance they face? I think it's because if you check the source, we've not raised our men right.
That's different from a man.
You
Coming
know?
from a man.
Yeah. We've not raised our men right. I don't know. You have male kids?
Yes, we have male
You have male kids,
Yes.
right? How old?
I have a 13-year-old.
Mine is 11.
11, 10, 13? 8. If your son tells you he has a girlfriend now, what would be your first reaction?
It's too early.
Read your book.
It's too early.
No.
Right. So you see, I think we are not raising our men to understand what relationships are like.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So most of us grew up not knowing how to treat women, not knowing how to listen to women. So we need to adjust these things. So if your son says he has a girlfriend at that age, your reaction, even from this space now, was resistance already. You need to listen and you need to teach him how. You need to teach him how to date.
He's 10 years old.
Yes, but he knows more than you can ever imagine, especially in today's world of social media.
At 10?
Yes. I promise you they know.
No, I mean...
I'm pre-social media and I knew stuff.
At 10?
They have crushes. They have crushes.
I knew stuff.
Not true.
What?
I can understand 13 myself.
They have crushes. I'm not saying encourage them to have girlfriends. I'm saying let them know that there's a timetable for things like this, and let them, it's okay for them to actually start having dates. Yes.
Bovi, take
Play,
it.
it's called play dates. It's called play dates. It's called play dates. You don't do play dates that have supervision.
I never ready for this.
But when we were kids, we played Mama and Papa.
Even that has been criticized.
And because we were not supervised,
things happen.
Things happen. So you see, that's the point I'm trying to stress here. Our kids are sharper than we can ever imagine.
Bovi, just to support you, because my son is 8, and he was not 8 when he told me, this girl, is she going to be my wife? And I said, no, wife is not in your dictionary right now. So really, maybe they are wondering these things.
Oh, yes,
they wonder it now because they see mommy and daddy.
Right.
So they wonder it actually.
So we need to raise the boy child.
Okay.
We need to adjust how the boy child is raised. If you encourage your boy child to be, oh, you go and play, the girls are inside and all, these things, they sit deep, you know. We need to fix that aspect, and then it will be easier for the women.
So you do comedy, Bovi, and I like the fact that you mentioned the role of women on the web series that you have. But how do you intend, or have you seen the impact that you intend to change in society from this satire that you have on the web series? Has it been impactful in changing mindsets around the stereotypes around women? Is it possible that we're beginning to see it?
Can you measure the results?
Yes, can you measure the result, the impact of it at this time?
You know, sometimes the things we champion, we may not even live to see the results because some of them take time, you know. Some goals are short-term, some are mid-term, some are long-term.
Yourview too, we cannot see the result of this show.
You know, but I would like to also add that women need to even understand that the areas where they are fighting for this empowerment, sometimes you may have conquered, but because you're used to fighting, you don't know you have won. You talked about the entertainment industry and how can it help women. But you see, I observed probably 10, 15 years ago that women actually control the entertainment industry. So what are we talking about? I'm talking of as far back as from the time of the Amaka Igwe, if you know what I mean. The biggest box office hit is a woman, Funke Akindele. The second biggest box office hit is a woman, Moa Budu. They are the biggest producers. Bolanle Osinpiters is one of the biggest producers. Jade Osiberi, one of the biggest directors, is Kemi Adetiba. The biggest film festival is by Choma Ode. So, what are you saying?
But we didn't.
The likes of Omoni Oboli, Uche Jumbo, Genevieve Unaji. Yes. So, you need to understand that women are running the entertainment industry. So, when I see young girls try to complain, oh, this producer is trying to sleep with me, I'm like, yes, it's true, but who have you cried to? Who have you spoken to? You own the industry. You know?
You know, I hear you, and you're right about women, you know, the women that you have mentioned. And I find this a bit, it reminds me of something where, yes, there are women in this top position, but usually it's the in-betweens. So you have a woman, a giant comes up, but in between, there are just so many that it's not flooded by women. And so these women that say to you, I want to do something, but, you know, it's either I'm being harassed or something like that. These women, yes, they stand tall, but they are the tall women in between, that's the issue. How many women are allowed to, be in that space to grow? These women will tell you that they have grown in spite of the issues, on ground. So these girls, what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that they're just being aggressive or just wanting to fight. Is that there are still issues on ground. As a young woman coming out, especially in this industry, there are still issues that she's facing before she gets there.
And I tell them two things. Number one, these issues they are facing, there are men facing these issues as well. Okay. The only difference is the sexual part of things. For example, these days there's really much difference in that regard. And then what I tell the ladies is also what I tell the guys. Everybody has a TV station now.
Yes.
Everybody has a TV station. Yeah. So stop looking for a ladder to climb when you can actually create your own.
I have to talk on the issue of the role of men. Because a lot of women are getting educated, either they don't have their husband's support, or some of these women, they had to defy being a wife or being somebody's, like sometimes people feel as if the men are not supportive. So yes, you want your woman to be a high flyer. You say it verbally, but in actions, you mean totally something different. So what can we do to get men to support women in sincerity, where support them financially, support them physically, emotionally? Many men don't want that. So how do you think we can begin to encourage men to do that more?
Well, to be honest, I think maybe just repeating the message more often will do the magic. If it will do the magic, I don't know. But like I said earlier, the new breed of men that are coming, I think we should focus more on those men, letting them know
let me pause you for a second. We women go for a lot of conferences. We seek knowledge. We want to be better. We want to know better. Men are not doing that. You are probably here because you've sought out knowledge. You know better. You are talking to mentors, but a lot of men, Nigerian men, They just believe everybody's talking rubbish and they won't just stay where they are. So women want to fly, but because they don't have that support, they're thinking, I can't fly. My husband doesn't believe in this thing. So women are there drying. So there's a glass ceiling in the house, not at work. The glass ceiling is at home. So how can we break through, or how can we educate these men that are already grown like you, re-educate them to understand the importance of empowering their wives?
I think those men who understand should talk to men. And the women who are doing it should just continue. You can't say because you're not getting the support, you are going to stop. There are women who...
Cost some people their homes.
Yeah, it costs some people their homes. Yes. But it's better to live long and happy without a home than to be sad and miserable because you're trying to keep a home. Ultimately.
That's a quotable quote.
It is. No, it's one picking
the African distance. Okay,
and I'm not saying there shouldn't be long suffering. I'm not saying you shouldn't bear. But if it's going to kill you, you might want to step out.
Okay, as the father of a girl child, what are your hopes for her future, and what changes do you believe are necessary to ensure they have equal economic opportunities? I see that you have videos of you and your daughter. So what plans do you have? What are your hopes for her in the industry?
I'm raising her to become a weapon in whatever form she likes.
I like it.
Right?
Weapon.
Yes. Wow. I'm raising her to know that she's a creator, just like her father. She's a creator, and whatever she thinks, she can achieve, right?
Wow.
As regards this thing we're talking about, men and all as well, because my kids are schooling in the UK, and their mom is there more than I am. Whenever I want to, lately I made a mental note that whenever I want to get on video with them, I must be wearing a shirt and I must be seated, because I'm always lying down.
Okay.
So I'm like, let them not think that.
That is always,
does not have a wisdom.
Stuff like that. These things affect the mind of a child as well. I don't want my daughter to end up with a guy who, because he's always chill, he's always lying down.
Like my daddy.
And if he's not working hard, like my daddy. And I don't want my sons to think that, I can't kill myself. Because they don't see me when I'm working. They see me when I am resting. But I have to put on that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Nima, you're going to say something.
Well, I wanted to ask, a personal question about how your friends around you, because somebody was saying on YouTube that Bovi, they play the women. that your answers are women-centric.
Yeah.
You know, that you've been answering us and we have just been, since, you know, how some of your friends in your circle, how do you see them? Are they like you mentally? Or do you have 2 or 3 that you correct? That you say, this guy do well now, this thing.
Or are they the ones influencing you even?
You know? Is it that all of them are like you?
Maybe we're a bad guy also, that somebody got you to this point.
I have friends who are better than me when it comes to how they manage their home and treat their wives, right? I have the ones who are learning in the process as well, and the ones who are learning from me. But we do more of watching than talking, right? More of watching than talking. We watch each other. You're doing this for your wife? Okay, not bad. Okay. I'll do this as well.
So how do you mentor young ones? Are they also watching you to learn, or do you talk to them?
I talk to those who ask. I talk to those who ask, you know, because I've come to find out that people know what they want. People actually have answers to their problems. They just can't face it.
Yeah. You know? Oh my God, I love that.
So some people want to hear you talk, to just verify or to verify what they want to do, right? Stuff like that.
So of course we have to talk about what you're going to do. What is in the works for you?
Your thing.
Yes.
I've just finished so many things now. I'm in that mental space of let me chill. But yes, there's going to be more movies.
Okay.
There's going to be more shows next year. I just did Benin. My new series just came out on Amazon Prime.
Oh, Benin?
No, I did stand up in Benin October 1st. Right.
So which one is
which one are we doing end of the year?
What is it?
Which one are we doing end of the year?
I really don't do shows end of the year.
December.
Yeah, end of the year is family time for me, and that's when I get hired the most.
Yeah.
So my own personal gigs, you wouldn't see them, but I get hired by private companies to do their gigs.
Those things they pay you well.
Oh yeah, very well.
I saw your interview.
Which one?
With Ibrahim, Vijay Adams, and I was like,
oh right.
When you cashed out on this cash out, I was like, so this thing they pay like this.
I can't lie.
I can't
you have a good manager. You said it. That you
yeah. I just don't have a good manager. I have a good team. I have a very good team, and they are.
Somebody go see that your manager.
And you know,
90%.
Does a wife get a bit scared when you're working with women?
Maybe in the beginning, she didn't get worried when I was working with women, but I'm in an industry that has a lot of women, and I have very many female friends. But she knows. Sometimes it's not even what you say.
You get tempted.
She knows. Do I get them?
Tempted. You get tempted.
I'm a human being.
Don't see mommy water.
I'm a human being.
See mommy water.
You get tempted.
I'm a man. Don't you get tempted?
I'm asking you a question. The question I
have. You have not answered.
You get tempted.
Temptation is part of life.
Yes.
How do you overcome it?
Because when you know that there's yin and yang of everything, it boils down to choice. You know, so you make a choice to resist the devil.
Well, I like that. What would you say, can I ask a final question? What would you say has helped you to be sustainable?
Grounded.
You know, not grounded. Some people have started off like you. I'm sure you know a few people, but just didn't stay at least this level where here you are, you have branched out into being a movie maker and so many other things. What would you say helped you to do that?
I keep moving, I keep learning, especially learning, right? I understand reinvention is very key, you know? So that's just it, basically.
Came at a cost.
Thank you very much.
What?
That's all
Came
we
at
can
a cost.
take on the show. We appreciate your presence. You just stayed with us today.
Yes,
I did. I liked it. I've been here before, so.
I know, we know. That's all we can take on today's show. Join us again tomorrow. Have a great day. See you then. Bye for now.